Family, it's me, and I'm in my kitchen, and I am tea dyeing or coffee dyeing some paper. And I wanted to show you real quick what I'm doing because some people ask me how I do it, and this is how I do it. Right now I'm doing scrapbook paper, which is no different than tea dyeing or coffee dyeing regular paper, which I did first. So you're going to do the exact same thing, it doesn't matter. But I like to sometimes tea dye coffee scrapbook paper so that the stark white back of the paper isn't so stark white. So you can use instant coffee and or tea. Sometimes I use a little of both. If you're going to use tea, you're going to want to use, for about 6 cups of hot water, you're going to want to use at least about 8, I would say, maybe 10 tea bags. And once you get that water in a pan, and since this is scrapbook paper and it's bigger, I do like half and half. I'll put it in there and then I'll move it. I'll grab it here and slide it so that this side gets some. But that's what I do, is I stack it all in here, like so. I just keep getting my pieces, and I put in as many as I could fit, and I let them soak like this for 5 minutes or so, and then I move them so that this side gets under the coffee/tea. I like coffee better, or at least I like to have coffee in it, because tea, when it's in the oven, makes, like, stinks, and I don't like it as much. Coffee smells better. But it doesn't matter. So, just so that I can do some journals and have some paper that is not stark white on the back, which I think if they're going to make vintage papers like this, they should make the back like a cream color so that it's not so stark white. I don't understand why they make them white. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Or make them a color, like the main color of the page is red, then make the back red. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think scrapbook companies should do to their paper, is stop making them white. Because most of us don't want a white background, especially if we're making journals. So I'm just going to keep feeding paper in here. And I have my oven. If I'm standing here, I'll put it on 300. If I'm going to walk away for a few minutes, I'll put it on 250. But I don't ever walk away for more than about 10 minutes. I'll set an alarm. 10-15 minutes max. But, yeah. So I'll leave those for a few minutes, and I'll do the rest in a little bit. And then I keep checking on the oven, because what I'll do is put the parchment sheets right onto a flat cookie sheet. And then, let's see, any of these done at all? Probably not, but... And I'll check on them every few minutes, because sometimes the top one and the bottom one are done, because the heat comes from the top and the bottom. So sometimes the top and the bottom will be done when the rest of it's... You know, you'll know they're done because it'll be dry, you know. If it's a little damp on like one edge, I'll still take it out and be done with it, because, you know, there's no point in leaving it in there if the majority of it's like really dry. But, yeah, so you get a nice coffee or tea dyed, stained, whatever you want to call it. Usually I'll put some doilies into the mix. Some of them are a little lighter, some of them are a little darker. It just depends on how long I left it in the tea. I like a little variety, so yeah. So that's all I do, is just sit here, let it soak for 5 minutes or so, flip it to the other side. If it's regular paper, and I just use copy paper, cardstock, stuff like that. You don't use photo paper or anything like that. Just copy paper is great. And then, when it's all done, you can choose to iron it if you want to run it through your printer and print anything on it, because you can print on it to give like a vintage look, which I may do. I've only printed on a couple of pieces before, and I didn't iron them, so I can see the benefit in ironing, because then it'll print probably a lot smoother than mine did when I did it. So I may have to suck it up and iron them, even though I hate ironing. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing at 5:30 in the morning, is finishing up the rest of these papers. So anyway, yeah, I just thought I would show you that really quick, because I know I get asked all the time how I do it, and it's I mean, like, literally, there's nothing to it. It's so easy. You know, there's nothing else to it. That's it. So, you know, and if there's something that you don't know whether you can dye or not, just try it. It ain't gonna hurt it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have like a certain type of paper, just do it. You could do fabric, whatever. You know, so just if there's a certain type that I didn't mention here, then, you know, you could do tracing paper, you could do, you know, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, you can notebook paper, ledger paper, whatever you got, graph paper, do it. Just be careful because the paper is very brittle when it's in this state. It is very weak and will rip easily, so you want to take it easy when you're transporting it. You don't want to grab it by the corner because the corner will rip off. So you just want to be careful with it once it's wet. Once it's dry, it's actually going to be stronger than it was to begin with. This is a piece of copy paper, and it's nice and crinkly, and it's actually stronger because I don't know whether it's the coffee or something that does it or the tea, but it makes it actually like stronger. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to come on and show you that. I hope you have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.